Another one who has a great historical perspective is Senator John Coghill. Welcome to Washington, D.C.
Thank you, Senator Murkowski, and Senator Cantwell. Thank you for being here, and Senator Gardner. My pleasure to speak not only as a state senator, but I'm also voicing from the Citizens Advisory Commission on Federal Areas. And the testimony that you'll have before you is a compilation of things that we've heard from citizens all across Alaska coming to that commission. But for me, born and raised in Alaska, in the territory of Alaska, coming into statehood, I was 9 years old. My dad was part of the Constitutional Convention. And there was great expectation that came from statehood. And one of them was the compromise in Congress here was that we would be living off our land, as the governor said. We put together a wonderful constitution that has in it the natural resource article that is unique to American constitutions. We have been good stewards of what we were set out to do. But Congress ratified this Constitution saying you can do that. So as the governor said, it's a compact that we made with the federal government. But along the way, in this compact issue, we knew we were going to have to settle some native land claim settlements. And ANILCA came along shortly after we were a state. And it rocked the state. It was a tough compromise even in Congress here. But we did it. And we settled with 40 million acres and many, many other issues that came from the ANILCA agreement. Out of that came this ANILCA law, that we would balance the ability of the state to prove its resources for an economy and take care of the national interest, as Senator Cantwell said. What it effectively did, and for those of you who don't understand how it impacts us in the state, it literally amended the statehood compact. And so what we've done now is we put ourselves in a place where if we can't get the promises given to us under ANILCA, our statehood compacts becomes null and void or raggedy in such a way that it's not recognizable, as the governor said. And with these broken agreements that you've heard already in testimony today, here's what the compacts, the guarantees, and the agreements that have not been fulfilled mean to us. It's first very disingenuous to a people who had that great expectation. We had this slogan, North to the Future. We were going to build a great state. We still have the opportunities. We have all the tools, but what's happened here is the erosion of our promises given to us at our statehood and the ensuing documents, and ANILCA being this now 35-year-old document. It's been disrespectful to the people, but it's been disrespectful to the law as well. We have had agency people, through regulation, literally able to, with guidances, change the statehood compact. This is just not acceptable. So, but it's beyond that, it's a cancer to our economy. We can't get people to make investments in our economy knowing that the regulations are shifting with political winds. It's not now related to the law, as it should be. And so we're appealing that ANILCA needs to go back and take a look at the law, and there are suggestions within the document that I'm giving you that is probably easier to read than hearing my testimony. But it's also strangling opportunity. We have wonderful resources that were promised us to be part of what the 750,000 people in Alaska can build an economy with. We have villages that are literally in holdings in federal areas that are strangled from the ability to produce an economy because they can't hunt, they can't fish, the transportation system has not been put together as promised by ANILCA. We have small communities that are literally dying because they can't move forward. We have people who will not invest in those communities for that very reason. They literally have to not only go through the law, but they have to go through a whole series of litigations in order to make any move, mining especially. I'll give you one example, and my time is short. The 40-mile mining district, they're literally redefining it and putting it into a conservation unit contrary to the law. So in my testimony, you'll see suggestions that can increase our cooperation, bring us back to the law, and suggestions to Congress in helping to get the agencies to honor the law.